Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? Lately, I've been training to break the 2-minute barrier, the 800-meter dash, and today I'm gonna share some of my secrets with you. Quick disclaimer, training and strategy significantly changes depending on your skills, your goals, and what track and field events you're specializing in. I am not a professional, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. With all that said, let's hop into it. Before actually running in the race, you're going to need a lot of training. The 800-meter dash is a controlled sprint, so you're going to need a mixture of speed, strength, and endurance. I usually train speed, strength, and endurance 1 day a week each, and recovery 3 days a week. Recovery days are especially important because they help injury prevention. My recovery runs are usually 5 to 6 miles and 8-minute mile pace. But if that's too intense for you, like any of the workouts I suggest, I'd recommend building up to it slowly. You don't want to get no injuries. During my endurance days, I run 5 to 6 miles, just like my recovery days. But this time I run it at 6:30 mile pace. And that really helps for like long parts of the 800. Speed days personally are my favorite, but they're also the days I get injured most. One time I overtrained in spikes and had caffeine for about a week. I could have prevented this though by slowly building up the intensity of my workouts and training my calves more in the off season. For strength days, I normally just hit hills or steps. You should use mobile stretches before and static stretches after you run. I will have a link in the description to stretches that I recommend to start with. How am I gonna get around that? Sometimes you're gonna have like problems with like the environment. Yeah, just walk around. Hop, skip, and a jump. Hey, let's continue on the walk. Lifting is a great way to supercharge your 800-meter dash. Helps you get stronger, which helps you run faster in the 800-meter dash. During the season though, overlifting can ruin your race. It's like how one apple is good for you, but let's say 100, that'll make you sick. Personally, I find it best to go into the gym once every other week. I change when I lift depending on what competition I have. I don't recommend you run 2 or less days before a race because you'll be sore and running fast times going to be really difficult. One thing I learned the hard way last year was you got to do mobility stretches. I personally did it and I got like a hip injury and it took me out from running possibly faster times. So make sure you do good mobility stuff. Another important thing is core workouts. They're going to help you hold yourself up, which allows you to run faster. I personally do dead bug, oblique workouts, and lower ab crunches, but you can find whatever works best for you. Not only do you have to train while you're in season, you're also going to have to start before and get into like pre-workout shape. During the off season, I normally lay back on like the strength stuff and fast speed. I morely rely on like long distance days, and I also try and like bulk up with a little bit more lifting. With all the training out of the way, let's hop into the actual race. In order to formulate a strategy, I separate each 200 meter into a different part. For like the first 2 parts, they might be the same, but still. If you're running with a little competition in your race, then you should go through your first and second 200 meter at as close as possible to 29 seconds each. I know this can be hard. Pacing is usually a struggle, but you gotta be careful not to sprint your first 200 meter because you will burn out energy and it's gonna be terrible your second lap. But I unfortunately see a lot of runners make this mistake. And for your third 200 meter, try and hit 30 seconds. You'll start hurting here and it will be difficult to get fast enough leg turnover. But if you try to speed up, then you'll probably hit your times. For your last 200 meters, I recommend trying to sprint it in and get faster than 30 seconds. You're gonna use all your energy left and you should hit it. I just sprinted in. This is the easiest 200 for me because you can just see the finish line. You have all the motivation in the world. but you still gotta push. Gotta get that good mentality. If you're a little over your split in your first 200 meter, that's okay. You just gotta try and make it up on your third 200 rather than your second, because you're gonna be a little bit more tired and it's gonna be a lot easier not to over push yourself. One of the key principles that I'm following is that you wanna have a +2 differential between your first lap and second lap. That means your first lap is 2 seconds faster. Most pro athletes go with this because it allows you to reach your full potential for the 800. But all the strategy I just talked about is completely different if you're running against fast competition and you want to win the race. For me, when I go against fast competition, I just like to ride on first place person or wherever I think I can beat and just out kick them in the last 200. It's a most of the time because they have to do more work and we get more wind resistance, so we're less tired when it comes to the last 200. And we can just out push them. Easy, right? There's one final thing to consider to improve your 800 meter dash. And that is just get good sleep, good nutrition, and good hydration. This will significantly improve all your physical activities, but especially the 800 meter. You'll be able to pump out times way better if you're feeling good. Thank you for watching. Adios.